Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be continuing on that series of building that treehouse slash gear stand. In today's video, I'm going to be working on the walls. So what I plan to do, I plan to frame each individual wall section here in the shop. I'll haul that up the mountain, we'll assemble it on the stand, and we'll see how everything comes together. First, let me show you the plans here. Three really important things that I needed to note down. First, the length and width of the platform, which was 39.5 by 42 inches. Second thing I had to determine was where I wanted this paneling and the rails to be on the platform. So this is the front of the platform. There's a ladder right here, and I want to enter from this front right corner. Now I decided to make this front panel a little bit shorter, and also this right side panel, decided to bring that back a little bit to allow plenty of room for me to enter and exit the platform. So we have 34 inches for this side, and then this is going to be 2 feet from the edge of the platform to the edge of that right panel. And the final thing I had to determine was how high I wanted the actual paneling to be. So there's going to be plywood paneling on the lower portion of these panels, and then the upper part, this is going to be open. Now I sat down in a chair and I determined 3 feet should be about right. I think that's going to be fine. So without further ado, let's start cutting up some of these pieces and putting these panels together. So I'm working on the front panel right now. The ladder's going to be right here. Remember, we made this one a little bit shorter to allow us a little bit more room to get up into the tree stand. So I have not screwed this plywood down onto this frame yet. It's really important. Well, I mean, it's a tree stand at the end of the day, but in terms of craftsmanship, you should always measure from corner to corner. Ensure that those measurements are the same to ensure that whatever you're building is square. So this is 79.5 inches on the dot. Just make sure it's 79.5 going in the other direction. 79.5, perfect. Now we're safe to screw this down, and this will lock this in and prevent it from shifting. Everything's nice and square. Now I know I should be using exterior grade screws, but I just have so many of these drywall screws. I'm expecting this thing to last maybe 8-10 years, so we'll just screw it to death and hope it holds. Alright, I have all 4 sides done. I'm pretty pleased with how this is coming out so far. If anything, I kind of wish I made this platform a little bit bigger, but I was kind of limited with the 2 trees I was working with. As you can see, I left one panel, the header, higher than the other side. I do have another piece of plywood over there, so what I'm planning on doing, I'm planning on bringing this up there to the platform. We'll fasten this down, and then that last piece of plywood I have over there, I should be able to make a roof, which should help to prevent this platform from rotting over time. Now, probably would be smart to throw some shingles on that piece of plywood, but, you know, how long is that going to last? I think that piece of plywood will last maybe 8 years, something like that. It's going to be slanted, so no water's going to pool or collect there, so it's going to dry out after every rainstorm. But that should definitely protect the rest of this wood, because as you can see, I didn't really use pressure-treated wood. The only time I used pressure-treated wood was for the actual platform joists themselves, so gotta tell you, this thing looks pretty cool. Almost like a toll booth. Also running out of daylight here, so I figure I'll try and bring these panels up the hill now and secure them down in the morning. It'll be a nice easy job for tomorrow, Friday. Well, good morning. I think we're at around day number 5. I don't know, lost track of how many days I've been working on this project, but I hauled those panels up the hill last night. I don't know if you can see them off behind me. Trust me, that was a workout. Anyway, throwing on the arborist harness now. In a moment here, I'm gonna start hauling these panels up. I'll probably install the first panel first. I'll try and bring the camera up in the tree, give you a better look at what I'm doing up there. Now, how to get these panels up in this tree. So I have 2 panels up. They are fastened to the floor, so what I'm going to do now is secure these 2 panels together at a 90-degree angle, which will make these sides rigid and a lot stronger. Of course, we have the other 2 panels to go. Yeah, this is the only clamp I have up here, so I'm making it work. Alright, so I have all 4 sides on. You remember earlier I was talking about making this panel a little bit shorter, and that just allows us a little bit more room to get out to the ladder. I'm actually thinking about engineering some type of gate that swings inward, so that way when I sit up here I could close that gate to offer a little bit more protection, but mainly to help keep the wind out and hopefully prevent any game from seeing me. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is apply a cross brace in between this panel and this panel. Just hold that final piece of plywood up the hill. I'm going to attempt to bring it up here and we'll throw the roof on this thing. It's starting to drizzle a little bit right now, so good timing. Well, I didn't think this one through completely. A little hard for me to sneak into the platform now. I am harnessed up, by the way. Guess I'll just let this kind of rotate forward. I have it resting on the main joist right now. I think we'll be alright. Oh, gonna drop a couple pounds. So my harness line is gonna be in the way slightly. Yeah, this is not gonna be fun. Gotta be done. Okay. I think that's the worst of it. Cool. This thing's pretty cool, actually. I guess the final thing to do is to screw this roof on a little bit here. Just have a few more finishing touches I would like to put on the stand. First, a seat. So the seat is sitting on these cross members for the panels over here, and initially I was planning on fastening the seat down to these cross members, but I think I'm just going to leave it floating. It's a good tight fit, and if I need to, I could just flip the seat up and then I'd have more room, and if I want to change what side of the stand I'm looking off of, I could pull this forward a little bit. Oh, it's a little tight, but you get the idea. Face the other direction. Yeah, seat's 8 inches in depth, and it's reasonably comfortable. So here's the entrance and exit to the stand. I ended up cutting out this 14-inch piece of plywood. It's 3 feet tall, and what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to screw on a couple of hinges here, and I'm going to fasten those hinges to the outside of this 2x4 here, and that will allow me to swing this door inward when I'm getting in the stand, and then once I get up here I can close this, kind of block out some of the wind and give myself a little bit more cover. One of the final things I want to do is add a couple of these, well, I think these are conduit straps. I'm going to put them underneath these 2x4 rails here to give me something to hang a backpack on or something of that sort. Just finished up. Now with these conduit hangers, I fastened the screws just tight enough to where you could rotate these out by hand, which I thought that was pretty important because when you're climbing down, you want to minimize the chance of you getting snagged on anything. So if these do get used, whoever finishes using the stand, I'll just flip these off to the side so that way there's no chance of anybody getting hooked on anything. And that is the same with these other 2 hooks over here. I think those are a real nice touch. And also, if I rotate the camera down, I ended up using one of those conduit hangers as a latch for this door. It's pretty tight. I'd imagine it'll wear in a little bit over time. Very tight, huh? Maybe I made it too tight. There we go. That just allows this door to slide open, and then you have access to the ladder to get down the stand.